it's the Warhipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial, and today we are painting the all-new High Falconer Felgryn. Yes, an all-new Flesh Eater Quartz character. I'm very, very excited by him because, well, as you guys know, I'm a big fan of the Flesh Eater Quartz. I think they're absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait to jump in and start painting him. A massive thank you goes out to Games Workshop, who sent me this one early to build up and paint with all of you, and that is exactly what we are going to do today. Now, he has been primed in White Scar, as has Gryph, I think is what this thing is called. I can't remember though. And well, with that White Scar primer applied, we're going to jump in and we're going to start painting. So the first colour that we're going to be using is Drakenhof Nightshade, and we're going to be applying this over top of all of Felgryn's skin. Nice and simple to start. So with that all done, just whilst we're waiting for it to fully dry, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Cygor Brown and we're going to apply this over the top of his skirt. So with that all done, skin should be fully dry now, so what we're going to do is we're going to take some Coelia Greenshade and we're going to apply this over the top. Of our Drakenhof Nightshade. So with that all done, we're now going to take two colours, Agrax Earthshade and Wyldwood. And we're going to be applying this over the top of his top robe and hair. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the Agrax Earthshade. We're going to apply this over the top of all of it, basically. I'm just going to start just there where we're done. Bring this around. Like so. There we go. We've got all of this stuff as well. I promise you the Wyldwood is coming. There we go. Once all that Agrax Earthshade is applied, I'm going to wash the brush and we're going to grab some Wyldwood. I'm going to apply this over the top of the actual hair. So with that all done, we're then going to take some Black Legion. And we're going to apply this over the top of his belt. The bit of wood sticking out of his back. And we're going to apply this over the top of his fingernails and toenails. Next up, we're going to take some Athonian Camoshade and apply this over the top of the face. And so with that all done, we're then going to take some Skeleton Horde. And we're going to apply this over top of all of the bones. So with that all done, we're then going to take some Reikland Fleshshade. And we're going to apply this over the Falconer's glove. Because why not? And we're also going to apply this over the top of the sort of viscera on his back. And in, I guess it's the bait pouch, which is a head. You gotta love the flesh eater courts, really, haven't you? So with that all done, we're then going to take a roughly 3 parts Volupus Pink to 1 part Cygor Brown mix. And we're going to apply this over the top of his hat. So with that all done, we're now going to take some Garaghak sewer. And we're going to apply this over the top of all of our bats. And all of their kind of fur. We're just going to avoid the membranes. That's all done. We're then going to take a roughly 3 parts Skeleton Horde to 1 part Gryph-Hound Orange mix. I'm going to apply this over top of the wing membranes. So with that all done, we're now going to take some Nuln Oil. I'm going to apply this over the top of Felgryn's hair. And so with that all done, we're then going to take some Carroburg Crimson. And we're going to apply this over a number of different areas. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this over the top of the inside of the mouth and the tongue and the teeth. Just like that. We're then going to use this to shade the hat. Like so. And then what we're also going to do with the Carroburg Crimson is we're going to use this to add some visceral stuff to the brain matter here in the head, and we're going to use this also over the top of this goopy stuff up here. Like that. And then over the glove, what we're going to do is we're going to apply this over the top of the fingers. Like that sort of thing. We're going to wash the brush, touch off the water, and we're going to just blend it out. Kind of transfer it over the rest of the glove. Do the same thing on the other side. Like that. Wash the brush. And just give it the old blends. Like so. And so with that all done, we're then going to take some thinned down Iron Warriors. I'm going to apply this over the top of our two remaining details, which is the knife and the bangles. So with that all done, we're now going to take some Targor Rageshade. I'm going to use this just to add a little colour into his top bit, his top robe. So really what we're going to be doing here is we're just going to be applying small amounts of this Targor Rageshade just in the darkest recesses. Just like that. Not very much here at all. And so with that all done, we then take some Agrax Earthshade and we're going to apply this over the top of the silver. So with that all done, Felgryn is now what I would call a Warhipster battle ready, and he's looking pretty good. However, we're not going to leave him there. We are going to take him to the next level, and we are going to do this by adding some highlights. Now the first of these is going to be some thinned down Fenrisian Grey, and we're going to use this to highlight all of his skin. So with all that Fenrisian Grey applied, we're then going to take some thinned down Gorthor Brown. We're going to use this to highlight his lower robe. So with that all done, our next colour is going to be some thinned down Karak Stone. And we're going to use this to add some little spot highlights to the dark brown down here. But what we're also going to do with the Karak Stone is going to use this to highlight the black details and the brown of his hair on his back. So with that all done, the next colour we're going to use is some thinned down Screaming Skull. I'm going to use this to add some little tiny spot highlights to the tops of the fur back there. What we're also going to do with the Screaming Skull is we're going to use this to highlight any bones and pick out all of the teeth. So with that all done, we're now going to take some thinned down Flayed One Flesh. I'm going to use this to highlight the glove and the viscera. So with that all done, we're now going to take some thinned down Pink Horror. I'm going to use this to add just a couple of tiny little highlights to his hat. With that Pink Horror applied, we actually did just pick out the gums as well. Forgot to mention that. But what we're going to do now is we're going to take some thinned down Deathclaw Brown. I'm going to use this to highlight the bats. So with all that Deathclaw Brown applied, we're then going to take some thinned down Ungor Flesh. I'm going to use this to highlight the wing membranes. And what we will also do here with the Ungor Flesh is we're going to use this to pick out the inside of the ears of all of our bats. And so with that Ungor Flesh all applied, we're then going to take a tiny little dot of Flash Gitz Yellow. I'm going to use this to pick out the eyes of Felgryn and of all the bats. So with that all done, we're now going to take some thinned down Corax White. I'm going to use this just to add a couple of little highlights to the hair. And with that all done, we're then going to take some thinned down Ironbreaker. I'm going to use this to add some little highlights to the silver. And so with that all done, to finish off High Falconer Felgryn, what we're going to do is going to take some blood for the blood god. We're going to apply this over, well, some areas that we want to be bloody. So over the top of the brain pan in here, just going to add some of that blood for the blood god like so. There we go. We're going to apply some of this over the dagger. Like that. We've got some of that viscera at the top here. and around the base of the glove, of the fingers. So with that all done, we're going to pop High Falconer Felgryn to one side because, well, we're going to do Gryph next, and basically it's the same deal. Like this bat over here, we should have really done it at the same time as these three, but we just haven't. So this is going to be the same as those, same for this little bit of viscera here. But the tree here is going to be done on Gryph, and we need to paint Gryph anyway. And there shouldn't be something there's much that's too surprising here. There's going to be some similarities. There is going to be one key difference here, which is what we're going to start off with, which is taking a roughly 2 parts Gore-Grunta Fur to 1 part Larmian medium mix. And we're going to apply this over top of the entirety of this model, well, specifically the flying ghoulie. So with that all done, we're then going to take some Garaghak sewer. I'm going to apply this over top of all the muscles and darker brown parts of Gryph. So with that all done, we're then going to take some Black Legion. I'm going to apply this over top of Gryph's talons. As well as his tongue as well, actually. So with that all done, what we're now going to do, and change, is we're going to take some Deathclaw Brown, same paint, but we're going to dry brush Gryph instead of line highlighting him. And with that all done, we're then going to take some Ungor Flesh. I'm going to mostly concentrate this dry brush around the wing membranes, the ears, but what we are also going to do is going to add a very gentle kind of spot dry brush just over the top of his spine, basically. Kind of like the sharpest point of the model. So with that all done, we're then going to take some Screaming Skull, and like before, we're going to apply this over the top of the teeth. And just like before, I'm going to take a tiny little dot the flesh gets yellow. I'm going to apply this over the top of the eyes. And so with that all done, we then take some Karak Stone and we use this to highlight the talons. And finally, to finish off Gryph the model, it's a late stage entry, but we are going to take some thinned down Slaanesh Grey and I'm just going to use this to pick out his tongue. So with that all done, there is just one last thing left to do across the two of them, which is of course the base, and they're really simple, and the only colour that really needs to be pointed out here is a roughly 1-to-1 mix of Black Templar and Wyldwood. I'm going to be applying this over the top of both Felgryn's tree and Gryph's stump. And of course, once this is all applied, I'm going to base it in the way we like to base things. Some sterling mud. And all that. And then we're going to dry brush the whole lot with some Tyrant Skull. And so with his base now complete in the same style as the rest of my Flesh Eater courts, High Falconer Felgryn is now finished. And I don't know why that's so tough for me to say. I keep wanting to call him Lord Falconer, but he's not. He's just the High Falconer. Well, I guess that's objectively no difference really. But I really enjoyed this one. Very fun to paint Flesh Eater courts again because they're one of my favourites in Age of Sigmar. Can't wait to get this guy on the tabletop and see what he does because he's awesome. If you enjoyed this video, you love the channel and you'd like to support me further, you absolutely can do so by heading to patreon.com/warhipster, just like all of these wonderful, amazing people have done. And alternatively, you could become a YouTube channel member by clicking on the join button below, exactly like these fabulous folks have done scrolling up on the screen before you. There are so many of you out there that it really takes my breath away, and I cannot thank you enough for everything you do, as without you I wouldn't be able to keep making these Contrast Plus videos. And if you really like this video and you want to send me a little thanks, just click on the thanks button just below this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and to make sure you stay up to date, don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Happy wargaming.